Now we begin to Now we look at 6.3 organs and body systems. The organs are structures composed of specialized tissues designed to perform specific function in plants and animals. So a concept here is that we have cells, and cells have organelles. And these organelles function in a very particular way to design very specific components. And so they are then either ejecting these components into the bloodstream, into the glandular duct, or in a variety of ways, or they're building components that are functioning within in a very particular fashion. And so these cells do also they're not always round. They could be elongated, or they could be very, very long. Like, for example, our nerve cells are very, very long as well. So variety of shapes and variety of functions that the cells have within themselves. And when these cells come together, either in a circular manner like this, or they're overlaid with one another, or in this case of dendrites, the nerve cells, and they connect to one another. What they do is here's an axiom, and here's a dendrite connected to another axiom. And so however they connect, what they produce is tissues, a particular type of tissue. And that tissue is specialized. And why is it specialized? It's specialized in a way that it has a specific function. This happens both in plants and animals, in all living things. And so in our human body, as we're looking at our human anatomy and physiology, we look at table 6.1 and lists some of the most important organs of the body. So what happens is that the tissues come together and they layer upon one another as well. So each layer is made up of cells, and then these tissues, they come together, and what they form is an organ. Okay, again, cells make tissues, tissues make organs. And so we might have a heart, we might have a kidney, and we might have a particular portion of a brain. I don't know how to draw a brain, but so a variety of organs that are produced. So some of the key organs, some of the most important organs, while we have hundreds of different organs, some of the key ones are brain. And what's the function of that? It controls the body. Eyes, what's the function? It's the vision is the function. Heart, and what's the function? Circulation of blood. And then kidneys are designed by very specific cells, and those cells come together to form a variety of tissues, and those tissues come together in a very unique way to then create a kidney. And what's the function of kidney? To excrete water and waste products. And then we have lungs. Lungs are designed by particular types of cells, and those cells make a variety of tissues, and those tissues come into a combination that forms a very specific system called lungs. And that lungs supply oxygen to the blood. Then we have liver as one of the key body organs, and removes waste created by digestion. Then skin is one of the largest organ in our body, and it is the external protective coating that covers the body, also called integumentary system. Well, organs create system, and so the skin is an organ. And we'll get into body systems after this. And so then we have stomach. Stomach digests food along and works along with intestines to create a digestive system. Then we have intestines, and we have not talked about systems, and we'll talk about that next. But intestines, what's the function there? It takes the initially digested food and takes the food and takes it further, and so it finish the process that the stomach began, and it continues, and lots of absorption happens in the intestine, and those absorbed nutrients then go into the bloodstream and provide that to all the cells throughout the whole body. Now we talk about body systems and their functions. So the 11 main body systems and their functions are skeletal, muscular, nervous, circulatory, lymphatic, endocrine, digestive, excretory, respiratory, integumentary, and reproductive. Let's take a look at each of these. Skeletal system is the physical foundation of the body. We know that our skeletons are what allow us to stand up, move around, and so they consist of bones and are movable and immovable joints as well. So we do have movable joints and the immovable joints. And so then we have muscular system, and muscular system is connected to the skeletons and help in the to some extent the covers, the shapes, and supports the skeleton tissue. Also contracts and allows the movement of various parts of the body, and consists of muscles. So we did talk about a variety of muscles that we have. We have the skeletal muscles, we have the cardiac muscles, and then we have the smooth muscles. So those are what makes the muscular system. Nerves, they carry messages to and from the brain and controls and coordinates all body functions. So key elements of that one key elements of this nervous tissue our nervous system is brain, spinal cord, and extensive network of nerves. Then we have the circulatory system, and that we know is the heart, and the blood vessels that controls the steady circulation of blood through the body by means of heart and blood vessels. Then we look at lymphatic or immune system. It protects the body, so our defense system, and protects the body from disease by developing immunities, and that is recognizing foreign objects and sensing that there's something that is not correct, and then addressing it, and addresses it to hold down that invader into our body, and then also locking it down, and then controlling and managing its spread so it doesn't spread very rapidly through the body. Controls that, and then a second aspect is destroying. So it destroys the disease-causing toxins and bacteria, as well as it does to some extent fight our viral infections as well. Then we have endocrine. Endocrine is glandular, so we do have glands that are secreting. We have so it affects the growth, development, sexual activities, and health of the body, and consists of specialized glands. And those are, for example, growth hormones, and that are very significant in our growth and development of the body. Then we have digestive system, and we all know that because we love to eat. And so what it does is it changes food into nutrients, and then also waste products. And then we all know that it consists of mouth, stomach, intestines, salivary, and gastric glands. Then excretory system, and it purifies the body by elimination of waste matter. So once we have taken in digestion, a portion of that will go into nutrients for the body that nourishes the body. Then the waste product that is resulting, then that waste matter gets eliminated. And so this system consists of kidneys, liver, skin. Even skin excretes waste products that are harmful to the body. Intestines, they also do filtrations. And then lungs also, they breathe out waste products. For example, our carbon dioxide. So we take in O2, and when we take that in, what do we release after that? Carbon dioxide. And then talking about lungs, we also have respiratory system. And respiratory system enables breathing, supplies the body with oxygen, and eliminates carbon dioxide. And as a waste product, something we talked about here that the lungs do. And it consists of lungs and air passages. We have the integumentary system. Integumentary system is our skin system that is more than just the skin itself. It has the organs within the skin, and it serves as a protective covering of the body and helps in temperature regulation. It consists of skin and then accessory organs within the skin. For example, our hair, and also the glands that are part of the skin, and they, for example, sebaceous glands that do what? Will secrete sebum, or the oily substances, and that also helps to protect in the protection and the covering aspect of it. Then it also regulates temperature. How does it regulate temperature? We have the sweat glands. And those sweat glands will, when the body's going to a higher level, it secretes the sweat, and then allows the body to cool down. And so it functions in the protection and then temperature regulation. And so, again, it has consists of skin, accessory organs, oil and sweat glands, sensory receptors. Works with this, with the nerves, a variety of nerves or sensory organs, sensory receptors that help us, again, in the protection. If there's something's too cold, something's too hot, we have that sensations to guide us. And then there's hair in there, and also nails that grow out of the skin within this integumentary system. Finally, we have the reproductive, and the key element of that is in the reproducing and perpetuating the human race. And that brings us to the conclusion of what we talked about, our 9. So let's just go back to our 9 major body organs and their functions. We talked about that. Then we also talked about the 11 main body systems. The flow is cells come together and produce tissues. Tissues come together and they produce organs. And organs come together and they create systems, body systems.